That was my lazy peace sign. All right. I'm gonna do a video today. I'm just gonna get to the point, right? This video is gonna be not one of these videos where you can go look up any theologian accounts or anything like that. It's gonna be my opinion, my straight opinion on what I feel, what's going on, what I put together. Okay. So if you want to travel and adventure through the mind of Flash, let's go. I'm not gonna waste no time here. Now, lately I've been watching stuff, right, on TV, and I mean TV, I mean, Netflix, all these other different movies from YouTube and all different things, and I've been peeping a lot of the Sumerian gods or knowledge about Sumeria's accounts coming into play, right? I don't have this right here. I'm not gonna put it up, this one, but I was watching this show called Manifest, right? A lot of people probably know about Manifest out there, but they had the planes and they crashed and they whatever, right? If you know about the show. But at the end of the show, the significance, right, of this, at the end of the series, right, was, I don't want to spoil it for anybody if they never watched it, but they was in the life or death situations, right? A bunch of them. And this one dude had like this necklace, right? And the necklace was a necklace of Enki. It had like a boat, the boat ship, the ship that he was flying in with his wing and his acorn. It was Enki, the Anunnaki god from Assyria. I mean, from the Sumerians, right? And he was giving it to a friend, like it was like to be a saving for him. Or before they died, he's like, oh, this will protect you. You won't be one that's chosen. This will protect you. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you. So because he wanted to show love, like he don't care if he died. He'll give it to his friend to protect him. But the bottom line I'm trying to get to is that it was Enki. It wasn't Jesus on the cross like in normal shows, normal TV. It was Enki. And it wasn't a big thing in the show to make it that was Enki. Like, you know how CSI be like, what does this medallion mean? Or NCSI be like, what is this? Check it out. Oh, it's an old ancient relic from... They ain't do none of that. They was just like, here, take it. And we all supposed to just know that's going to save him. So that was just weird to me. That was one. But two here, right? I watched YouTube and I watched my boy Matthews family, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Matthews family. It's a good content, a lot of conspiracies and things like that, but he's real good with his content and he's official and thorough, but I was watching his podcast here or whatever he got. And, I'm going to put it on for y'all so y'all can peep before I say what I got to say. All right, now I'm going to turn the camera around because it's going to be a little tough, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do that. Here we go. Let me put it on first. Let me put it on.
By the way, I should say I continue to keep an open mind in both directions. I think everybody should. I think what's changed here is that you have a growing...
This is Fox News telling you about the aliens and that we have 12 ships. That the guy came out and said, yeah, we do have 12 ships that we know about, that we're re-engineering and trying to go. We do have aliens that we've even seen. You know what I'm saying? This is Fox News. But what I'm going to show you is what Fox News goes to right after.
There are people who say this has gone on for long enough. We should not be subject to rumors. We are a democracy. We have control of our military and our intelligence agencies. And if they are hiding something from us, we need to find out. We're big boys and girls, and it may be shocking information, but it's our right to know that information. It should not be held from us.
All right. Great reporting. Thank you so much, Michael.
Alfred Al Worden, a prominent figure in the annals of space exploration, was a US astronaut best known for his integral role in the Apollo 15 mission.
Now, this is what I want to get to right here. This guy. Listen to this guy's credentials. Listen to his credentials now. Yeah. Now, these people got to take an oath of silence until they decide they get their pension. When they get their age where they get their retirement, if they want to get pension, they can whistleblow or not and not get the pension. A lot of them choose to whistleblow. But listen to his credentials, right?
His impressive career, marked by numerous accolades and firsts, reflects the spirit of exploration and scientific discovery. Born in 1932 in Jackson, Michigan, Worden showed an early interest in aviation. After graduating from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, he joined the U.S. Air Force, where he served as a pilot, ultimately amassing over 4,000 hours of flight time. He later earned master's degrees in astronautical and aeronautical engineering and instrumentation engineering from the University of Michigan, reflecting his commitment to education and his passion for space. Worden was selected for NASA's astronaut group in 1966 during the height of the Apollo program. His initial...
And during the height of racism times, too. So we see that this man was born in racist times, which marks him basically, I'm not trying to judge, but probably a racist, you know, because he was born in 1929 and became an astronaut, got all these educational accolades and all that, right? But that's not the here to there, but just to give you a bit of his character, what he more than likely is, you know. So at these times, a lot of what's going on between blacks and whites. But look, he goes into space, right? We see he has a lot, he's decorated pretty well. Check it out.
Role involved supporting the Apollo 9 and Apollo 12 missions from the ground.
And he got a long
gaining
neck.
invaluable
Pause.
experience before his assignment as the command module pilot for Apollo 15 in 1971. Apollo 15 was NASA's fourth manned mission to land on the moon, but unlike the previous missions, it focused more on scientific exploration. Throughout history, the notion that humans were created by advanced beings has served as a...
Now, you see that statement? You see that statement? He said scientific, you know, so for the fourth mission of NASA, real early, the 60s, like, you know. Now, I don't believe we went into full space. I believe we're stuck in the firmament, and there's things out in our firmament that keep us at bay, and I'm going to show you why I believe that in a minute or later. Right? But you see, this guy was like, his whole career is decorated on searching for the truth. He was going out there, and NASA was doing these things as scientifically at first, right? Okay, just making sure you keep up with these details.
Source of inspiration for numerous authors and researchers. Despite being considered as far-fetched by mainstream science, a wealth of compelling evidence has been discovered worldwide by researchers to support this theory. Those who believe in this research have said that there's a significant link between the development of civilizations and advanced entities,
I don't have my
and that this is evident in
camera
the
holder.
historical accounts preserved in ancient manuscripts and clay tablets that have endured for millennia. During an interview with Good Morning Britain, Al Worden shared intriguing thoughts on the existence of advanced life. In addition to his space exploration endeavors, Worden expressed a belief in the theory that humans have ancestral connections to ancient advanced beings. During a 2017 appearance on the British television programme Good Morning Britain, he delivered a surprising response to a question about the justification for spending significant funds on space exploration in the midst of numerous challenges plaguing our planet.
Sorry, y'all.
Specifically, he was queried about his belief in the existence of advanced life. His unexpected answer likely caught the attention of everyone watching the interview. The ex-Apollo 15 astronaut stated that aliens not only exist, but they also visited Earth in ancient times and played a role in the creation of our civilization.
Now, here you have someone who's highly decorated. They listed off all his accolades, willing to put his reputation on the line on TV or whatever it was, the interview, and say that, make that bold of a statement.
Exactly.
People aren't just doing that. People aren't just, you gotta imagine how much flight school he went to, how much schooling he went through. Not everybody's willing to just.
And what I was getting at by him may being racist, might be, I don't know the man, I can't judge him to say he is. I'm just going by the time frame of his birth to the time frame of his getting where he got to in his life is all racism times. Almost 90% to 95% of them were racist. White people, no offense. You know, it's just what it was. Y'all were lined up in streets with white robes and hoodies and stuff. So, but that's what I'm trying to show you. So this man was on that side of the fence, more than likely, if he was an astronaut in the government. You know, the feds, all that Hoover, they were all racist. So if he's coming out and saying this right now, it has nothing, you know, this, you would look at that as kind of like significant. I know that's like Flash. Why are you tying this in? Like, because it ties in. If he's going to go against his own regime, because that's them. They keep those secrets to themselves, you know. But check it out. So what I want to show you here, I'm gonna get to how this guy, see, he's basically telling them what he believes from what he's seen and what he's learned, right? Now, he ain't mentioned nothing about no Bible. He ain't mentioned nothing about no Jesus, right? And look where he goes with it.
know what I mean? Destroy that. So that's what I be thinking about when I try to figure out if somebody's credible. Should I believe him or not, or should I give them a chance to listen to him? Look at his credibility.
Ancient times, and played a role in the creation of our civilization. To find evidence supporting this claim, one simply needs to examine ancient Sumerian literature. Based on his statements,
Ancient Sumerian literature. Who is that guy?
he held strong faith in the ancient texts of Sumerian civilization.
Do you see this guy right here? This is old sculpture literature right here. Like, you know, basically, if you see what he's carrying in his hand, he has a scepter, like some kind of like magical or some kind of technology, you know, that can do something. Like, and this is way back in those days, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna in this new channel thing that I'm doing, I'm gonna dive into all of this, all my thoughts on all of this stuff here.
These scriptures depict a time when humans and deities coexisted, with humans serving as the subjects of the gods, and each Sumerian city having its own divine protector. The oldest known account of a Sumerian creation myth was discovered on a tablet unearthed in Nippur, an ancient Mesopotamian city, in 1893. Based on ancient cuneiform tablets, it is believed that Earth was initially governed by deities who resembled humans. These divine beings, upon their arrival on Earth, transformed the planet into a hospitable environment through agricultural cultivation and mining of valuable resources.
See the Trinity? You see that Trinity, that three?
Moreover, the tablets make reference to a conflict that arose between the gods and their working class. Al Warden said the following: "We are the aliens, but we just think they are somebody else. But we are the ones who came from somewhere else, because somebody else had to survive, and they got into little spacecrafts, and then they came here and landed, and they started civilization here. And if you don't believe me, go get books on ancient Sumerians and see what they had to say."
Now, what I'm gonna say here, which is why I say I'm a little more advanced than these people, and I'm gonna show you why, what I feel, because I'm gonna go off my gut feeling, and I'm gonna say it before everybody say it. Well, there is someone out there saying it right now, but I'm gonna be the first to join them, because everybody else looks at them like they telling you some trash. I'm gonna show you. Now you see, he's connecting it that these beings came from another place and they created us here. So we're the aliens, but he's putting us and linking us with them. And that's if you just read their account. Like you just read the Bible and you was like, damn, man, God created us out of the dirt. We're from here. Then like, there's just like that. You read their accounts, and if you only read their accounts, you're going to think that they are our gods and that they created us and we were from another place. So I'm just giving you that perspective right there. But let's continue real quick because I want to show you something.
They'll tell you right up front. End quote. Al Warden passed away shortly after this interview.
That's weird.
The ancient Sumerians were not only pioneers in fields such as writing, agriculture, and law, but also held intricate beliefs about the origins of humanity. These beliefs, documented in various myths and religious texts, provide fascinating insights into Sumerian cosmology and their understanding of the world. Sumerian mythology paints a rich and vivid picture of the cosmos. At the beginning, they believed, there existed only the primeval sea, which gave...
With Amazon's
Pardon me, y'all.
you can sing,
I don't have
money by spending less of it.
the YouTube without that.
These cosmic entities in turn bore several deities, forming the Sumerian pantheon. Among these were the Anunnaki, a group of deities who were the primary figures in Sumerian cosmology
figures.
and were instrumental in the creation of humanity. One of the most crucial texts describing human origins is the myth of Enki and Ninmah.
Enki.
According to this narrative, the gods, burdened by the toil of shaping the earth, implored Enki, the god of wisdom and water, to devise a solution. In response,
Enki, the god of wisdom and water. Now, mind you, I just made a video called No One's Coming to Save You, part 1 and 2. I made part 1 and 2 of these videos explaining who Enki is, what he's about. You need to check those videos out so you can get a real gist of where I'm coming from with this and why I feel the way I feel, okay? Like I said, there is no sources here. There is no, oh, you got to go check this and read this. This is a compilation of all religions and spirits together to show you the origination of them and where they all come from and that they stem from one. and that this one here is in control of everything right now, and that this one is still running the show, and that there is something coming here soon that you better be prepared for. But as we see right now, he was the God of wisdom and water. Wisdom and water you control? Man, that's power. That's power. Now, we all know that the Bible uses references to God in the sea, and the Gnostics say, yeah, he was the sea and the people were the water. And well, Enki is the God of the water in the Sumerian account. He runs water, seas, and he's the God of wisdom. How could you beat that? What's your body made of? How much water is in your body? And why is that like that? We'll move forward. I'll get to that. I'll close off on that one at the end.
Enki and the birth goddess Ninmah created humans from clay. These beings were intended to bear the labor of the gods, allowing the divine beings to live in leisure. In these stories, the Sumerians depicted humans as being inherently linked to the divine, yet subordinate to it. We were created from the same earth that the gods had shaped, and our primary function was to serve the divine. The Sumerians believed their cities were owned by gods, and that their kingship descended from heaven, reinforcing this notion of serving the divine. Another Sumerian text, the Eridu Genesis, presents a similar narrative, highlighting the Sumerians' view of a direct relationship between gods and humans. However, it also introduces the concept of a catastrophic flood sent by the gods, where only a few selected individuals are saved.
The flood. Yahweh in the Bible causes a flood, right? I think that Enki is all of them together. Yahweh, I think there was no Yahweh. You see from my videos, I'm saying that Yahweh is Satan in your Bible, which is the truth. If Satan was a person in the Bible for real, it'd be Yahweh, from what Jesus describes. But then you come to these, because you see my later videos, I'm even getting deeper, where I show you that Enki is Jesus, and that Enki is not on the good side. Enki as Jesus, when we all believe Jesus is here to save us and come as from Yahweh, we see that he does not come from Yahweh. I put that truth out there for y'all. Jesus did not come from Yahweh. So we know we were wrong there. So that should give me some credibility for those who follow me and understand why they follow me. That should give me some credibility for this next one here. Excuse me. Right? So what I'm saying, this man's the God of water. Why Yahweh caused the flood. Flooded the whole earth. Maybe he was Yahweh, Enki. See, you know the details about these two, Enki and Yahweh. They're brothers, right? But Enki was born to a house maiden, because couldn't have babies. His full-blooded wife, Anu's full-blooded wife, couldn't have babies. Which was his sister, right? So he had a concubine have sex, and they had Enki. Then after that, his sister was able to have babies for some reason, Ninmah, so whatever. So they had Yahweh, but Yahweh now becomes the official Anunnaki king because of the birthright, because he's from full Anunnakis. He outdoes Enki's firstborn right. Enki doesn't like this, of course. Who would like this? First of all, you're the God of wisdom and you're the God of water. You don't go like this. You're a scientist. You're like, you know how to splice genes, DNA. You're a scientist. This is pissing Enki off. But he kept cool. He used wisdom and was cautious like a snake and nice, sweet as a dove. Right? So he stayed and played his place, let Yahweh take control. But when their planet started breaking down, right, and needing gold and things to keep it going, because it runs a little different from us, though they look like us, they're not us, right? They came here. They found this place, right? And there's another story on how they found the place. I got that story too, right? And when I tell you that one, it's going to blow your mind, right? But when they get here, right, they all, because one of them gets here, but then they all come. And then they start to search and look around, and they see that this is a good planet to be inhabitable and to help them out for their planet. So what they do is they just start building stuff to mine the planet and stuff like that, right? But all along, like all throughout the books of everything, Enki has been one that's been looking for immortality for the gods. He's been looking how to get immortality because these gods die. They live long lives, though. They live about 300 years, 300,000 years. These gods, these Anunnakis, they live very long. So they have lineages of kings and kings and kings before your Bible was even thought of here on earth. Right? So this stuff is all etched in stone, y'all. It's not just me going on top. It's all etched in stone. All right? So now Enki, the god of water, causes the floods, does all these things. And it's starting to fit. Everything's starting to fit who this guy is, right? But I'm going to let it go a little further before I finish explaining about that part.
A motif that would recur in later Mesopotamian and Abrahamic traditions. It is important to note that Sumerian myths offer
Let me back down a little bit more.
selected individuals are saved, a motif that would recur in later Mesopotamian and Abrahamic traditions. It is important to note that Sumerian myths offered
Basically, that the later traditions of Abraham stole all their stuff from their originals, the Sumerians' originals, which is true. But why was this hidden? How come now it's all coming out? How all this time nobody in Sumerians or whatever ever broadcasted that we had the ones first? It was us. Even the Bible, Jesus talks to the Sumerian woman and says, you don't have the truth, we do. Why no one said nothing?
different versions and
Show you
names
why
regarding
later.
the creation of humans, reflecting the city-state-based nature of Sumerian civilization, where local deities and myths held sway. Yet, the common thread running through these narratives is the depiction of humanity's creation as a divine act, and humans as beings intended to serve the gods. Enki, a central figure in ancient...
So what we just had was their thing. The story for us, if with Anunnaki, let's get out the Bible that we weren't created from dirt. Let's go and act like we're from the Anunnaki story, right? Okay, we were just made from the dirt again. Boom, they made us from the dirt, but they made us here just to mine the earth and clay and find things and get gold for their planet. So we were just a project to do stuff. But the first project was kind of like, because they used apes or whatever, because it was a hominid that they've seen first. They didn't see us first. All they seen was the apes first that was walking on two and doing things. So they said, okay, let's change them up. Let's give them a little, splice them up and make them workers. This didn't really work. So, he had to change that up a little bit. So they put that to rest, that project. Enki bumps into us as humans later on down the line and sees that we have the same basically with the apes, but we're way more intelligent than the apes, right? So what Enki does is, pardon me, I have to go get my charger. So what Enki does is he doesn't tell his brothers. He doesn't tell his brothers or Esther and Anunnaki about us and what we're capable of. He just lets them know that we found a new creature who can probably suffice for what we've lost with the other ones. Okay, that's why in the Bible you see there's two creations, right? You see there's one, and then he said, let us make man and whatever again, right? All this stuff fits. All this stuff fits. And it's all still lies. It's all still stolen, right? So it's crazy how deep this goes, right? Follow me, though. Just keep with me. I know I'm all over the place, but follow me right now if you can, if you fucking can. Because it's early in the morning and I'm doing this. Freestyle. Okay, so that's the MO, to make us believe that if we just read from their scriptures and writing like we do the Bible, we'll believe that we were created just for that. So humans that believe the Bible, that we're special, that God created us with specialness in mind, they be like, oh, I knew it. I knew something was wrong when they come to their senses about this, right? And they say, Dad, man, so we was just here to mine the earth. And it seems like it's real because it's older than the Bible. So, man, I guess we got to face it. Some people are still in denial, following the Bible and Christ. I don't believe that. But they don't even understand that once you even got to this layer is even still a lie. You weren't made for that, and you weren't made by them. See, they found us here. They found us here already. And that's where all the religious stories stop. That's where the Gnostics stop. That's where all of the Sumerian accounts stop. That's where the Bible, even in their version, stops, that we met them here, and that was all it was. That's not the truth. We were created by other being from another source, and they stole us. But let's go on.
Ancient Sumerian mythology is a god renowned for his wisdom, creative power, and association with water. His character and...
Let's see what Enki's powers are.
Enki, a central figure in ancient Sumerian mythology, is a god renowned for his wisdom, creative power, and association with water. His character and narrative significantly influenced Sumerian
who's
cosmology.
Is that not Enki, the Egyptian Enki? No.
Social structure, and understanding of humanity's purpose. Enki, also known as Ea in Akkadian mythology, was believed to reside in the Abzu, the freshwater sea
EA Sports. I'm just going to put that out there.
beneath the earth. As the lord of this subterranean aquatic realm, Enki held dominion over all forms of water, including rivers, wells, and rainfall. This-
All the mystic well stories that you've heard back in the past, the mystic well, the well waters, and all that stuff, go to the well, the wishing well, all that. This is all him. Enki is a creative. He's the for creating wisdom, and so he's up here with it. And Enki is giant. Enki's not little. He's a giant. So your story, that's why you see him with the pharaoh head on. That's why you see them pharaoh depictions on the wall with a giant pursed pharaoh with the little ones at wall bowing down with something to him or whatever. Because this was real. He was this Enki in all forms of life. Enki and his Anunnaki brothers. There's only few of them that know. By the time we get to Egypt times with Pharaoh and all them though, the rest of the Anunnaki are all dead. The rest of Yahweh and all the rest of them are done. They're dead. Enki has let them die, has not told them about the human regeneration of the souls. They are dead. The only Anunnaki that are there are the ones that were under, that were younger, that Enki can now control as God, because they're wondering how he's living so long while everyone else is dying. So it makes him look like a god because he's wisdom, creative, and he has it all. So Enki's running 2 planets now, Anunnaki planet and ours. Okay. He's here now. He's the god of the sea, water. We see that he flooded the earth. We see that Antarctica has control of everything. Antarctica is blocking us in the ice circle, in the ice belt. And there's things that we will never find over there because we're not allowed to go over there. Why do you think that? Who controls the water? Who's freezing that ice? Enki. Who put us in the ice age? Enki. Who has the wisdom to know how to breathe things down to make water fake to tectonic plates for earthquakes, everything for the comets to come down? Enki. They know how to use moons and planets and stuff. That's what the Anunnaki were doing before they came to Earth. So they can send the moon at your planet. So you can't, you got to look at all of this stuff. You got to look at all of this and understand who's in control of you right now. Watch.
Association with life-giving water underpinned his role as a fertility god, vital to agriculture in the Sumerian civilization. Beyond his connection to water, Enki was revered as the
These are
god
all
of
him.
wisdom.
All these sculptures and things that you see in the past of history are all Enki. All him.
And intelligence. He was believed to possess the Me, divine decrees that formed the foundation of civilization, encompassing elements such as social norms, moral codes, technological knowledge, and arts. Enki's possession of the Me made him integral to the functioning and maintenance of societal order and progress in Sumerian belief. In the Sumerian creation myth, Enki played a crucial role. As mentioned in the myth Enki and Ninmah, the gods, burdened by the labor of crafting the world, appealed to Enki for a solution.
The academic paradigm in regards to the chronological history of man, the claimed, continued, warts and all documented, completely linear journey to the modern day from a claimed...
Okay. We didn't go that far, right? Well, basically, you get where it's going. What I'm trying to show y'all, too, for the overall of a whole of this video is that, look, we are watching a news channel. We was just watching the news, wasn't we? Wasn't we watching Fox News where they were talking about how we have aliens here now? We got 12 ships, and we've been whatever, regenerated, whatever. He's like, just stay with grown-ups. They just tell us what it is. We know it's here. Then they go to the pilot, the astronaut, right, from the news. This guy, he's the one that told us. Him. He's been around. He's highly decorated. He's the one that told us that we have this, amongst others. But the more decorated you are, the more reliable your source, right? So now we have that, but this is still the news, right? Next thing you know, we talking about Enki. This guy who's been around since, been in places that we ain't never been. He's telling you, listen, I believe this is what it is. The Sumerian tablets that we have, that's older than the Bible, way older than the Bible. These guys have pioneered learning, tool making, and they pioneered everything we know. They pioneered everything. You obviously out there don't know who's pioneered everything we know. Some people be like, it was this Arab guy, Gophales or whatever. He did math, and he was that was law. Africa had math way before that. We see from the little rocks. So that's all lies. Don't believe none of the stuff you believe at first, because sometimes it be lies. Me, I sat back a long time, and I sat back and analyzed so I could pinpoint this donkey and put a tail on his head. Not saying not discrediting no one else that they haven't done this, but even people like Billy Carson, which is my guy, like I said, he's still at the point of just the Anunnaki story, as that's what it is, and we've been lied to about the Bible and all the other religions. But it goes further than that. Enki didn't create us. He just runs the world now. They came here, like I said, running the world. Enki, right, just outsmarted his brothers. He wanted to take his kingship back from him. He outsmarted his brother, his father, all of them. He let them die. This is now we're going from what I believe on here on. We're not going from even the Anunnaki text and nothing like that. But I'm going to use the Anunnaki text so you can understand where I'm coming from. Enki, crafty, was very crafty. He was like a serpent and a dove. And that's why this Bible says this, because he was. Enki came down here playing Satan, God, and Jesus. Yeah, you've been fooled. He's been playing Satan, God, and Jesus. Coming down here causing confusion, because he said it himself. I didn't come down here to cause peace. I came down here to separate families from their daughters, fathers from their daughters, families. Cause a sword. Because he knew what he's been doing from day one as the serpent. That's why Lucifer is the light bearer who comes as the morning star. That's why Jesus is the light bearer, the brings light into the world, who's the day star. No great white, don't eat me. Don't ask where that came from. But anyway, right? So now we got Enki, right? He's doing all this crafty stuff. He hates his brother, right? So what does he do? He gets his brother to run the world for hundreds of thousands of years, when they were before the Bible, even before Egypt, right? So they're running with the king's list, Yahweh. They're making stories, history. It's all on tablets. It's all on stone. All the king's list and everything is there for you. Go look at it. It is older than the Bible. So now they want to keep this under wraps, though. Enki kept this under wraps through time. You would think, why we don't know? How nobody knew? How? Because Enki destroyed it. Thought he hid it forever so that you would never know about that part, that layer. Not even the layer I'm about to break down to you, but even that layer you would never know. So, where was I? Okay, so Enki, right? He's created us. He got us all thinking that he's God. Because by the time we get to the Bible times, Bible times and all that, Enki is playing Yahweh. That's why he goes and sneaks a group of people from Samaria, right? He goes and sneaks a group of people from them and say, I'm going to make you my people, right? But he's very harsh. He's mean. He's killing. He's a baby killer. He does evil. He makes men rape. He does all the evil. He says out his own mouth, I am love. If you see evil, it's me. This is all we've seen in these videos I made, right? That Yahweh is just evil. Yahweh says, I'm evil. You cannot tell somebody. He said, if a nigga show you what he is, believe him. He said, I'm evil. I'm doing it. And he is. He's doing it. He's killing the babies, killing the wives, raping them, cutting them open, doing the worst. So that proves that it's him. But we never see Yahweh, right? No man has ever seen Yahweh. Yahweh shows Moses' face. He runs by Moses. Moses turned to a ghost. So no man can see him. But Moses spoke with him as one having a face-to-face conversation. I ain't gonna go there though. But this is Yahweh, right? This is the Yahweh. He's doing all the worst. And Jesus comes, and Jesus is the total opposite, correct? Right? Jesus, we've shown you through these videos that Jesus is the total opposite of Yahweh. I had to break that deciphering down for people out there so they can see that first. Because this is a layer thing. This thing is layered so hard that you would think you at the top, but you gotta climb another, right? So now we got Yahweh, right? I had to do that for the people in the church. But Jesus, what's his name? Enki, I personally think that he's playing Yahweh to disgrace his brother's name further. Because that's what the history knew. How can we know this Yahweh is true? How can we know he's real? Well, we got history that talks about Yahweh. Back in those days before the Bible, that's all they preached was Yahweh, because he was the Lord and God. So we have to make this look real. We have to make this look like Yahweh. In those times, the Israelite times, that was big to them still. This was like the internet. This was lit to them. Yo, you heard about Yahweh in the past? See, it's been erased to us, but to them it was all around. This information of who was really who. So they would take that, you know what I'm saying? Once they knew that, they took that name. That's why they raided Egypt, because Yahweh and them were in Egypt first. They were in Africa. They held us down. That's where they kept us all in Africa. You know what I mean? Before we started turning white, they kept us all in Africa. We was all one color, right? But at that, Yahweh's name was big then, but Enki realized he had to, defame Yahweh's name so he can take over as Jesus. But it was people were so stuck with Yahweh still that they thought that he was Jesus and Yahweh. So he said, all right, I'll keep that. I'll keep it. If people are stupid, right? So anyway, right? So he does all these bad things as Yahweh, right? To get us plus it also puts the humans in a confusion state of once you figure this one out, you're going to be depressed and discouraged. It's going to keep us in that down energy, that low chakra, that bad energy. That, we know you as this, that deceived us. Everyone's deceiving us. We'll never trust. We'll never love. So that's what he wants to take away, trust and love, and make us believe it's him. So he torments us with Yahweh. Then he comes as the good cop and just saves us all. Like, no, stop those things. They're evil. Don't do those. I'm here. Watch what I do. I'm going to die for this. Oh, die for you. I got tortured and beat and spit on for you. And just when you get the same thing, you pick up your torture stake and follow me. I'll be waiting in a place that I prepared for you up there. And when you get there, we will raid together. But I'm coming back to get rid of all these. Right. Now you stuck. Though. You tired of what Yahweh did. That's why they asked him when he came. They say, you can get rid of the law? Please tell us that you get rid of the law. Because they want to get rid of this law. It's killing them. Jesus like, I'm not going to get rid of the law. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you everything I do is going to go against the law. And 2, I'm going to abolish it. And I'm going to trap you in a bigger law. Law with your spirit and your soul, where you give it to me just freely. Right? So that he gets that done. Right now, we are all in here. We're all trapped. We're all in. But see, the thing is this. We were not created by Enki. If you've seen you got to check the videos I told you about. No one's coming to say we were created by another people on Dita. They call it on a place called Dita. They created us, put us here. These people are benevolent. They have nothing but love in their heart, and that's why the source made them that way. Made them nothing but good. And the source did this before he separated himself. He did this. So they created us. This is the part where the Gnostics and everybody cannot really tell you. They're going to tell you Yaldabaoth, Sophia, and use it in different ways. But I'm going to go a little deeper with this one. Right? Okay, so they created us. These are benevolent beings. They're not fighters. They're not killers. They don't avenge and go like, so if someone comes steal their eggs, they're gone. Like the jungle. Right? Okay. But the source, though, can do something about it. But the source that we have that created us is neither good nor bad, he or she. And so we can't really count to think of how he would think or what he would feel to what happened. He took off 25% of himself, made another one, and just when it didn't work, he just left it. Like, all right, how could you do that? You're God. You're the main source. You just broke off something that never happened and gave someone else power. And now you don't care? Oh, so that's why we've been taken over and just raided every day as humans and nobody's doing nothing about it for thousands of years. But, so these Anunnakis, they don't have hearts like us. They don't have souls like us. They can't. When they die, their soul doesn't go anywhere and to connect to theirs. Because these people that created us, these beings that created us, they gave us 2 subconsciouses. They gave us 2 separate subconsciouses. Just in case something like this ever happened. That we can always, if we had to die or lose this physical form of life, of body that they gave us, we can always transfer back to our original self and meet up with our other side of our conscience. That's a smart idea, great idea. Because things like this are happening right now. Right? So here we are. And we're stuck by beings that have longer lifespans than us, that are more bigger than us because they're giants. We look like grasshoppers in their eyes, like he said in the Bible, right? And they can shapeshift to us to look like us, like Enki did to make a man to have sex with Eve, to make his seed here first, right? And they can kind of use like telepaths, like they can read your mind a little bit. So you have to be careful of these. They've even made a fake reptilian race for you to believe that there's reptiles here because they can transform into reptiles. So they can form a whole race of those and make you think that's the race of reptilians. But no, those are just the evil things that they use to scare humans into submission when they don't follow. And this is in the Anunnaki, in the Illuminati and the Masonry. You don't follow. They're going to take you to a basement somewhere deep in a place that you ain't never seen. And you're going to be fed to these things. But it's really just the Anunnaki because they eat people too because they're giants. But they form as a reptile and eat you. You think this is a reptilian race eating us. So this is how they've been keeping us in submission for the longest, using those type of things to keep us in. Don't forget, Inky's been here for years as different people, Pharaoh or Horus, different people. He's been here. And what's the Egyptians use? The serpent on their forehead, right? Right. So, all this has been worship, to worship the serpent, to make them feel scared of the serpent. The devil's a serpent. He's a dragon. Because they know these are the most fearsome creatures that you fear. So if they turn into those and whatever, why they're right in front of your face, whatever, you're like, I'm not messing with him. I see it all now. That's what he does. So we are all trapped here in a circle. The earth is bigger than what you know. We are trapped in this little circle of it with the ice around it. The ice that Inky controls, the water. Because see, the first times, a couple times he used comets, Dreases, boom, boom. Because we weren't getting the point. There was something in us. That's before he knew our spirits can travel. You know what I'm saying? After we die, he was just wondering when he first came here, try to control us, spice our DNA, whatever. And, because that's what he did. He, boom, cometed it up, right? Froze around the area so that when they do the little nuclear comets and floods, it only hits the middle. It only hits the 7 continents. They don't go outside of the ice belt and all that and the walls over that. They can do all that. Look what we do with HAARP right now. We finally caught on. He finally opened the doors for them. But he's been keeping them in the cold with that technology for the longest, even though his crew been using it. You gotta see what I know. I'm all over the place. Trust me, I know I'm all over the place, but you can't be on track with this. You have to be all over the place. Okay, so all those years he's done all these things. The Ice Age, the Ice Age froze us over, kept our DNA on ice, kept like incubating us and resplicing us. That's how we started getting lighter in color. We started coming out looking like him because he kept using his DNA with his sister and all that, splicing us. So humans started looking more like him and being subservient to him too, serving him, like willingly to serve him. Because, they know at this point who he was and what it was. And they even started going against their original form, which is us, the darks. This is why we have racism and stuff today. Inky took advantage of this. He seen that his creation was working, that he was making new ones that were willing to serve him and do anything for him. So he would use that. And that's when he formed these Illuminati Masons for this time and era. See, they've been around since the Solomon and Gomorrah eras and Solomon eras and Pharaoh eras too. So he's been using this since then to control us. These people keep his secrets going for him. They keep the rituals going. They keep the blood going. They keep the confusion going. They keep the generating of slavery going. They keep the poorness going. They keep anything negative going, the fear, the hate. You could never be good on this planet. This planet will never be good. Why? Because they have people working against it. So when there's a good gender that comes out and it seems like everyone's getting along, they'll send 50 of their guys, 20 of their guys in there to go in there and do hate crimes when it seems like everyone was getting along. They'll go in there, and if you're doing things like getting rid of pollution in the air or whatever like that, they'll come up with a company or some kind of law that's doing the same thing and polluting the air this way or polluting that. They have so much outlets that you would never find peace here. And this is their job, because these people have done rituals where they took in the blood of these beings, because it's only Inky, Marduk, his son, and probably a couple of his other sons now, and some other Anunnaki that found out what Inky was doing. So these are the only ones here. The rest of them Anunnaki guys, Yahweh and all them, like I said, they're dead. I'm almost 100% sure Inky would not give them the power of immortality, because Inky does not even have it. He's just using us. He regenerates us. When we die, he found out that our spirit and our soul goes somewhere else. So he's found out how to keep it in a light body. It's a light body. So he's found out how to trap it out there, because don't forget who he is. Wisdom. He's a God of almighty things of creation. So he traps the light body, sucks some of the energy out of the death when it goes so he can still live, and sends you back to recycle that to pump it up. Doesn't kill you fully, but so you can pump it up again and come back and give it to him again. Because you don't come back with memory. You may break through a little bit because we're our own creation. He can't control that. You may have a little wisdom when you're born. That's why we probably have geniuses that grow up young. But they still don't fit the gender, because what happens is once you have some kind of creative skill or power, you go to a group that's part of the cult. That's part of his cult. And what he does is he brings you in through there. And that's how they trap all the creativity of man. You know, Tesla, all this. If you disagree, you die, and they steal it anyway. This is all to keep you under wraps. Do not find out, because the more you try to find out, the deeper we go as humans and the closer we get to that ice belt. That's when they start doing things like, things hitting the planet and stuff like that. Earthquakes, fires, famines, nuclear wars starting, all that. It's not the Bible, y'all. These men wrote the Bible. These beings wrote the Bible. They know how to they got the technology to make all the prophecies come true right in front of your eyes, dude. They're going to make magic happen in the sky. They told you this in ahead of time because they know they have the technology to make things look like it's in the sky. Stop falling for everything, y'all. We've been falling for it too long. We are being fooled, manipulated, regenerated, all type of things just to keep some beings alive and in control. And these people get blessed with power because you can't, his technology is so great that he could even act like aliens from another planet are coming here and stuff like that to generate you believe that. Like, you got the hologram in the skies. They'll show you bootleg holograms compared to what they got until you could say that that's real right there when they come. And they can make it look like they are getting information and things from people in the sky. So the people that's following them, the Illuminati Masons that are getting the blood out there from them and all the sacrificial rituals and the knowledge and technology from them, they're not going to stop. They were meant to do what they're doing. That's why they're doing it, because they have no souls. Once they take that blood in, they have no soul. These people will never get it. They will never understand what you're trying to tell them. And so we trying to tell the government to look out for us and help and change these things is very foolish and asinine. It's not going to happen. The people that are good in the government, they don't even know what's going on. They will never make it to that ice belt to get beyond that outside to the Eden, to paradise. That's what Eden is. That's where the good water is. That's where the good air is. That's where the good animals are, the real big giant animals. And all. That's where they all are. Out there, outside that ice that he will not let us get to. But if you're part and tied in with the society and all that, you in. You can go out there. You have access. So when they hit us with these bombs and nuclear, a lot of people wonder, why would they do this? They live here too. Why would they do that? They live here too. When they come here, they use clones and skin. They use clones and skin here. People that are cloned out skin. They're not even real humans. The people that you see here have masks on and they're generated. They're not even humans. Some of them are robots. And they'll go out there and put them there in front of you. You get an interview of him from his office doing this. He's over at somewhere. You know where this man is at? On an island outside the motherfucking equator, the outside the ice. But you think he's in a backdrop because he's in the backdrop here. You think he's right here, whatever. This is what they've been doing to us. So when they hit us with these poisons, these like mosquitoes that Bill Gates that's dropping off on people, all this stuff like these things, you wonder how could they do that? They all live here. The food is poison. Where they getting their food? How they farming? Because they don't live here. You are in a circle and you're being played. I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna come up with another one about how they got here, and I'm gonna break that down to why that ties into on how they got here. See, like I said, a lot of people are onto this now. There's a lot of people putting this out there. Like I said, Billy Carson going hard. You got a couple other brothers up here going hard. Matthew's family showing you right here. Brother Jamal always go hard. Jamal, he always been going hard on the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's also, all these people are leveled. They are at the top level of where they're gonna be. They can't step out that other level to see like, yo, wow, this is what it really is. This is just him. It's just Inky in control of it all with his sons. So we're being run by a sex-crazed alien scientist who creates wisdom in water. That's why 75% of your body is water. Who controls you? Why you ever thought sometimes you can't stop thinking what you're thinking or can't stop doing what you're doing? Like, damn, man, I'm under a certain source of spell, especially if you're drinking the water with Inky's poison in it, with the fluoride. They definitely controlled. See, they using these things to get over your pineal gland and glacier over the ice crystals and stuff and freeze you up to make you not capable to resist or to react or to think for yourself freely. And we're doing it so subtle. It's not even hard no more. So what we as people have to do is wake up to what we feed our bodies, right? Wake up to how we treat other humans, right? We have to definitely show love, because love is the combat to what's going on. You can't beat love. And we just have to stay woke and aware. Don't slip. Don't go back to the asinine lives of what you have to really take this stuff seriously. If you feel what I'm saying, if you don't believe me, it's cool. Ain't nothing I can do, right? What could I do if you don't believe me? I'm just a man, but I've done my homework. Over 20 years of this in my life. That's less than half my life. I'm just certified to me as all them theologians of the girls. I done read all of Hancock's. There ain't a book I ain't read of Hancock. I done read Lawrence Gardner's. There ain't a book I ain't read of his. I read a lot of the in-betweens of all the alien sightings from the military general. I read a lot of books. I've studied a lot. I've talked a lot. I've seen a lot of different cultures and everything. I've read almost every religious culture. So I think I have the credibility to put it together myself because I'm smart. I'm not stupid. I'm capable. I'm highly capable. And I think I've done it. I think I've seen it right here. I think I put it together for us. I showed you who's in control. I believe it is Inky in control of it all. And he's been doing us dirty. You guys have to come together. We have to come together as people and really regroup in our wisdom and our understanding, because there is something coming. Every time we got too close, Atlantis, all them, Lemuria, all them places, every time we got too close to figuring out, right? What was Nimrod doing? Nimrod was building a tower to the heavens, meaning he was getting close. He was figuring it out, and he had humans rallying up behind him. What they had to do, shut him down. He was mighty, he was a hunter, he was right? They had to shut him down. Nimrod was the first Kennedy type shit, right? Nimrod. We thinking he's wicked, he's evil, he's trying to be like God. He's trying to be like the gods. And that's the Bible version. But yeah, man, just check it out. Every time you get too close, they try to, so, you know, as long as we stay in this ice, we ain't gonna never get it. As long as we don't ever get to that ice out there to see what's up, we ain't gonna never get it.